about to come over for dinner tomorrow night. That might be a problem. Alright. See you then. Okay. Bye. Love you too. Bye. Hey Veronica, Lottie's back. She's also going to come for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, no problem, Peter. I've got enough for one extra. Of course, she's more than welcome.
Thanks, Ronnie.
What happened to you?
Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, I was talking to Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Yes, she's proving to be elusive. I just can't work out what happened to your Elizabeth.
Wait, my Elizabeth? What are you talking about?
Your great-grandmother, Elizabeth? You know, the mother of your grandma, Charlotte Walker? She's proving hard to get. I just can't work out what her birth surname is and where she came from.
Well, you said you were looking into your family.
I was, but I hit a brick wall and I got frustrated. So I thought I'd work on your family tree. I think I've hit another one already. I don't suppose you remember anyone mentioning what her birth surname was to you?
No, and I don't need you climbing into my family tree fence anyway.
Oh, I thought you'd be interested if you learned about your ancestors.
No, not really. I really don't understand what it is that you find so interesting about hunting down the names of dead people.
They're not just dead people, Peter. They're our ancestors. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today.
It's all in the past.
And I'm not just hunting down their names. I'm trying to find their stories, what they experienced.
It's getting late. Why don't you put that stuff away and get some shut up? And maybe a little bit of horizontal tango beforehand.
All right, Peter. I'll just finish checking out these search results before I lose them. I don't want to have to go over them all again.
There goes another 2 or 3 hours. And then you'll struggle to get up in the morning again. You lose all track of time when you do family history stuff. Seriously, Monica, I just don't know what it is you find so fascinating about genealogy.
Genealogy. It's my hobby and interest. It's better than sitting around watching soap operas or fighting with friends over politics. Look, I don't have a go at you for all the time you spend reading or looking at car magazines or watching sport, do I?
Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, they're all very healthy pastimes.
And what's wrong with learning about family history? They're our ancestors, Peter. Wouldn't you want someone in the future to think you were worth remembering?
Whatever. I'm going to bed. Are you coming?
Yeah, in a bit. That's okay.
Night.
Night. Maybe the newspapers might help. What's this? Tragic fall to death. Mrs. Cheryl Walker, 35, met with a shocking death when she fell from a lookout platform. Oh, God. Police say Mrs. Walker fell about 80 metres down the cliff face. It appears that she was sitting on the safety barrier for her husband to take a photo when she overbalanced and fell. Oh, how horrible. Peter!
This better not be another one of your amazing discoveries. It's going to take an hour to tell me about. Let me guess. Your great aunt's second cousin died trying to climb over the fence next door. Come on, Veronica, we've got work in the morning and my rallies are coming for dinner.
Yes, I've got all that under control. It's something else. It's about this.
Where did you find this?
On Trove. That's the National Library's newspaper archives. They've digitised all the old newspapers.
It's available online for anyone to see.
Yes. This is about your wife, isn't it? You never told me this is how she died.
I don't want to talk about it.
But that's terrible, Peter, that she fell off the lookout when we were on holiday together. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's in the past. Forget about it. I said forget about it.
The distraught husband, Mr. Peter Walker, had to deal with contacting police and waiting alone for emergency services. It took several hours to retrieve the body from the difficult terrain. Police will prepare a report for the coroner.
Well, Veronica is lovely, isn't she? Your brother has done well for himself, Lottie.
She seems to have all those sandwiches in a picnic basket.
Well, fortunately, she can put together something a bit more classy than sandwiches. And that lamb was delicious. Can't wait to see what she will delight us with for dessert.
Well, you just take care you don't end up looking like a plum pudding, Bill. No seconds.
Don't be a fun spoiler, Pen.
No, you'll better go in there and just see what we got.
No, leave them, Lottie. I'm sure they've got it all under control.
Unless, of course, the newly married couple are having trouble keeping themselves under control.
I think that comment is in very poor taste, Uncle.
What?
So, Lottie, how was your gig on the last cruise? Peter tells us you had some new songs to try out on it.
It went very well, thanks. Well, they were a cat before you.
Oh, here we go. Hope you like it. Bill?
Yes, please.
Lottie? See you, Penny?
Oh, yes, thanks, honey. Oh, that does look delicious. So, you were saying?
Oh, yes. Oh, so then I found out.
I think that, Jeanette, family history, it's a complete waste of time and it's kind of snooping on people too.
I agree. I don't think it's healthy to be so obsessed with death.
But it's amazing what you can find out these days. I had no idea that my great-grandfather Samuel was a convict. And he was sent to Van Diemen's Land. That's now Tassie, of course. Well, he didn't kill anyone. He was just caught breaking into a house. Burglary, that's all. They were tough times back then, you know. Well, anyway, Samuel was let off, sort of, by being transported to Australia. Because his brother, Edward, who was with him, was hung.
I think you mean hanged.
Oh, I thought it was hung.
Well, he might have been.
Well, even if he was killed, he was very young and he didn't have to live long enough to have a family of his own or a real life.
Speaking of family history and being hung, did I ever tell you the story about my grandpa Bob and how he got back at the council after they snubbed him?
Yes, Uncle. We've heard that one about 20 times already.
Oh, I haven't heard it. Do you mind if he tells it again?
Thank you, Veronica. Well, you see, Grandpa Grandpa Bob had done a lot of work on the new local hall after the old one had burned down. And the committee organised some bigwig Polly to come along and officially open the place. But when it came time for handing out invitations to the grand opening, Bob's name wasn't on the list. So, big day arrives. He gets us all in the car, tells us we're going for a drive. Drives around the streets a bit. As we're coming towards the hall, we see this great big crowd of people out the front. They're all pointing their watches and looking up the flagpole. Instead of the Australian flag proudly waving away, there was a very large pair of ladies' bloomers flapping away in the cooperative breeze. Anyway, someone from the crowd spots us, comes running over and flags us down. You see, Grandpa Bob was the only one who had the key for the ladder access, so they could change the flags over. Anyway, he leisurely gets himself out of the car and starts patting his pockets. Finally, he was able to produce the coveted key. Apparently, a very large lady friend of his had laid in her bloomers. An old Navy mate had configured the difficult knots. I saw him lean on the car, roll himself a smoke, and say, "That'll teach you, you bastards!"
Wow, what a story!
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I can find an interesting story like that in my family history. Peter thinks I'm weird being interested in the lives of my ancestors. His eyes glaze over when I tell him what I find.
But that's your relatives, not ours, so why would Peter be interested anyway?
Well, I find it interesting, Lottie, because I'm learning about people who have been forgotten and not here to tell their stories anymore. Are you interested in learning about your ancestors?
No. And I don't think they'll appreciate us prying into their private business. I know I wouldn't.
She goes to cemeteries. Digging up the dead is what it is. Anyway, I'm sure they don't want to hear about all this boring stuff.
I don't know. You've got to have a hobby.
Well, that's right. I don't get Bill's love of watching very overpaid people playing football. Do let him talk about it. You do have to share your interests. So don't you listen to Peter, Veronica. You go on and tell us about your convent.
Well, Sir Samuel got married, which is amazing in itself because there were many more men than women there. And they left Van Diemen's Land as soon as he got his pardon. Most of them would get away from here as soon as they could because convicts were considered to be a stain on society. That's why most people wouldn't admit to being descended from them, and they would cover up any convict ancestry. The closest to my mum's grandma came to telling her family that her father was a convict was by saying he had bad feet because he worked on the roads in Tasmania.
That is an unusual thing to say.
Well, you'd think so, Lottie. But I found out from my research that he had worked in chains on a road gang. And this was a punishment for being insolent to his master.
Well, you are a clever little detective, aren't you, Veronica?
Well, I suppose I am. You do kind of need to be like a detective to work it all out. You've got to keep track of what you found and where you found it and even what you don't find. That's it.
I don't know if I'd have the patience for that sort of thing.
It takes up way too much of her time. She stays up late.
And for what? Well, I don't think it's a waste of time. Helps me understand who my ancestors were and what life was like for them. For example, I found a news article of one who won in a war, and a news article of one who had their house burnt down, and an inquest on one who died in a car accident. I just think it's fascinating to be able to find their stories and bring them to life, so to speak. Maybe we can learn from their mistakes and misfortunes.
Another drink, Uncle Bill?
Well, yes, please. Mrs. is the chauffeur tonight.
Okay, that gets some more stock. Back in a tip.
And I just remembered, I found a news article on how Peter's wife died.
What? Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Well, Cheryl wasn't his first wife.
Now, Penny, I'm sure you don't mean to gossip.
Apparently she fell from the lookout platform while they were on holidays together in the mountains. Isn't that terrible?
Yes, well, maybe.
Pen,
What do you mean by maybe?
Well, I think you should go.
shush, Pen.
No, Bill, I will not shush. I have a perfect right to speak.
Yeah, just remember that your opinions are not fact. They are simply your opinions.
Bill doesn't agree with me. I've always thought there was something just a little bit sus about the whole thing.
The whole thing? What do you mean, Penny?
Yes, Aunt Penny, what do you mean?
Well, it was reported that they were alone at the lookout. Did Cheryl fall or was she helped?
And
That's a terrible thing to say. He's your brother, Lottie. What do you think?
Look, I've known Peter my whole life, and I think what Aunt Penny is suggesting is ridiculous. He loved Cheryl very much.
Yes, accidents do happen.
I'll take these dishes out for you.
Oh no, that's okay. Don't bother about those things, Lottie. I'll do them tomorrow.
No, it's okay. No bother.
Why would you think that Peter would have anything to do with?
Well, because his first wife died in strange circumstances too. That was Danielle.
Oh, I don't. What happened to Danielle?
They went on a cruise for a late honeymoon, about 12 months after they were married. In Sicily, I think. Anyway, he came back without her. Said she fell overboard into the Mediterranean Sea.
Are you sure? I mean, the chances of somebody falling overboard on a cruise ship, I mean, maybe they divorced and he didn't want to admit to a failed marriage, or she ran off with someone, or...
now, I knew a woman who lost 2 husbands, and she wasn't responsible for either one of them. They were just natural causes. First one got cancer, second one...
I would hardly call cancer a natural cause, Bill. But how was that relevant?
because she lost 2 husbands, and neither one was her fault.
Well, getting a disease is hardly in the same category as falling off a cliff or overboard from a ship, is it, Bill?
Look, the coroner ruled that there was no wrongdoing in the case of Cheryl's death. You've got too much imagination, Ken. And you're worrying money unnecessarily, so just stop it.
Well, where are their pictures then?
He's probably put them away out of respect to me because I'm his wife.
Well, anyway, as Bill says, it is just my opinion. I just think it's a couple too many times to lose a wife, don't you?
Here we are, top shelf stuff for the top shelf brothers.
Hey. Now there's the nectar I'm yearning for.
Hey,
Good man.
this is-
Hey Pete, what do you think of the Aussies' tested performance in this last test? I mean, do you reckon they're being paid to roll over? I haven't seen such a dismal performance since, what, the underarmies?
Yeah, mate, I can't watch it. It's a bloody disgrace.
Veronica, how about us ladies help you with the dishes while these men are talking sport?
That's okay, thanks, Penny. We've got a dishwasher. You just leave those things to me, Rogat, and enjoy yourself.
All right then, let's retire to the couch. Come on, girls.
Excuse me. Hey, Veronica, I've been thinking. You've been working and studying so hard. I think you need to give your mind a break. So I want to take you on a holiday.
Very sweet, Peter, but I'm not due for holidays yet.
Well, what do you say about a weekend away? A really nice special weekend in the country. You know, we can see the sights, watch the sunset. Check this out. We can go hot air ballooning. They say the views and the experience are breathtaking.
How wonderful. That sounds so lovely, you lucky lady.
Alright, well that's settled then. Alright, let's put some music on. What do people feel like listening?
Hey Lottie, why don't you play us one of your new songs? She's a great singer, you know.
Sorry, Uncle, not without my band to back me up.
Have you got second-hand serenades all for you?
What now? What's up with Veronica?
Oh well, that's not a bad idea.
So there you are, Cheryl. You must be Danielle. Why is your picture smashed? Oh, hi Penny. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Romy. Well, sorry though, I can't stay very long.
Oh, that's okay. So I found these.
Yes, that's them.
Penny, I wanted to ask you what we were talking about at dinner last night. You said that's a couple too many times to lose a wife, but do you seriously believe that Peter had anything to do with it?
Well, that is 2 out of 2 wives that have died in strange circumstances. And now, he wants to take you. Hot air ballooning? What do you think?
Well, I agree. It doesn't look good, but it really is just circumstantial. I don't get why you're so convinced of it.
Well,
why you would want to.
If you're not going to listen to me, there is no point continuing this discussion.
Oh, Penny, sorry. I'm just having trouble taking all this in. I want to be sure that I understand everything and that I've got all the right facts.
Yes. So, is Peter still seeing his psychiatrist?
Psychiatrist. He's never mentioned one. Why would he be seeing a psychiatrist? Or was it because he couldn't stop Cheryl from falling off the lookout?
So So, he hasn't told you about the abuse yet?
Abuse.
From what I've gathered from Lottie, when she and Peter were children, their mother was single and had to go out to work. While she was at work, her mother, Grandma Charlotte, looked after them. While Lottie did her chores, Grandma Charlotte was abusing Peter.
How horrible! Oh. Well, I can't just walk up and say, hi Peter, are you still seeing your psychiatrist? I mean,
Oh, come on, Ronnie, you are the detective. You'll work it out. Look, I'm sorry, I've really got to go, but take care and good luck.
thanks Penny, thanks for coming. So, ladies, what really happened to you?
Sorry, what, love? What are you doing with those, Veronica?
I found them in the drawer.
It's snooping again. I said to leave my family alone.
No, I wasn't snooping.
She might have taken them out.
No, I was looking for something in the drawer and I found them. Who are they?
She might have taken them out.
Who are they?
They're nobody. The past. Just stop meddling with history for once in your life, Veronica. I'm ducking down at the shops. Do you want anything?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Bye, love.
Mr. Walker? Ah, Peter, come, have a seat.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in quite a while. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Ah, Peter, we're not here to talk about me, but thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Well, I haven't really been feeling very well, so I thought I'd better come and see you.
Oh, that's good that you have done. Are you still taking the same medication that I last prescribed for you?
Yes.
That's good. And you're taking the morning and the evening dose?
Yes. Well, I don't think they really do much anymore, so sometimes I have an extra one.
You shouldn't be doing that. You know, you need to be consistent with them, otherwise there could be a bit of a problem.
I'm getting those voices again. I just want them to stop.
Oh, well, we'll take a look at that then. There's a new drug that I think might be better for you. Would you be okay to try that?
Sure.
There.
Thanks.
Now make sure you follow the dosage exactly as I have written. Now, tell me how things are going with you and your wife. Sorry, what's her name?
Veronica?
Ah, yes. How are you? And Veronica getting along?
Good. Veronica is... she's a lovely lady.
Good, good. So exactly how are you feeling? What's going on?
I'm feeling... I don't know, I'm confused. Like I'm not in control.
Have you been
been thinking about Grandma again.
She's been telling me to do things. She won't stop.
Please, but now, Peter, remember, your grandmother can't do that anymore. We've talked about this, remember?
She says that Veronica is bad for me and that she's going to hurt me.
Oh no, Grandma Charlotte is dead now, Peter.
Just like Cheryl. Then,
She can't tell you what to do anymore. She can't hurt you anymore.
can't she?
No, Peter.
I'm so confused.
Remember, Charlotte is dead, Peter.
Charlotte's not dead.
No, Peter, Charlotte is dead.
She's not dead.
Yes, Peter, yes, she is. She died years ago.
No! She's been saying that Veronica is bad for me and that if I'm smart, I'll listen to her because she's always looked out for me and she's always going to be there for me.
No, Charlotte is dead, Peter.
No! She was at my place last night. She said, I've got to get rid of Veronica because she's going to hurt me too. Lottie said, just like all the other women in our lives have hurt us. But she won't hurt me. She loves me.
What? Lottie? Charlotte? Oh.